Hello, beautiful Pisces. Welcome to your reading. Let's dive into it right away. There's a pathway opening. This is for the next 2 weeks, by the way. There's a pathway opening. There's a new cell starting to form. Pathways is in the second week. We have one in the first week. This cell starting to form is in between those two pathways. Pathway can represent travel. We have a tears of joy. So I feel like here, this is something not currently on the agenda. The agenda is like maybe travel one path and then the second path. And during those travels, this can also indicate doing something outside of your daily routine, weekly routine. And during those explorations, this can be an idea, a seed, an opportunity presenting itself. However, it's in the cell stage, meaning it's actually like, think of it like a baby. Baby starts with one cell, 4 cells, and then just starts growing really fast and rapidly. This is something like that. So if you are planting the seed, basically, let's put it that way, it will require nurturing and feeding, but it might even take the term of a baby, maybe even. However, at the end of the day, I feel like this is going to be something like a baby, bring joy. And also, I believe the babies comes with their own abundance and prosperity, which can bring that into your life, okay? By the way, if you're new here, this is Divine Light. And if you haven't already, give this one a thumbs up. Go ahead, hit subscribe. And also, I'm going to leave my email right here and in the description box. If you would like a private reading, go ahead, send me an email, and let's keep in touch. We have the pathway here. This is something, the second week pathway is like a flowing river. So this first one is like a very stagnant situation. I feel like the first path is something like pushing you to get there. And like this might be a thing that you don't really want to deal with, because I see you're very peaceful in your comfort zone here. There's a person with a big chin, kind of reminds me of a little bit Zeus vibes. You might have this Zeus as an authority supporting your cause, supporting what you do. That's why you might have the comfort of, in that field, in your heart space, in your current environment. You might have a support of a Zeus character here. And I'm going to interpret this widely. Doesn't have to be specifically a physical person. This can be like a father figure, an ancestor, really, or someone who had invested in your future. Now you are, maybe it's a partner. Now you're collecting the fruits of that. Now you're living the comfort of that. But some things are also pushing you to do maybe certain things that are very stagnant, and maybe like you're having great time in your own house, but the duty calls that you need to go visit some family members, okay? And that's the stagnant part of the thing. What happens is, this is connecting to another highway right here, which is, I told you, it's like a very wild and exciting river. So one step outside of your comfort zone, even if it's forceful, can really start to ignite things. We have a solar eclipse tonight, and I feel like these effects of these planetary alignments keep after the event happens, and I feel that you're going to be affected by that as well. So think of it as, let's replicate the energy. Sun goes behind the moon, so you're actually getting invited to somewhere, or you have to take care of something that is maybe a chore for you. You're dragging, it's dark, it's not really fulfilling. But when the sun comes behind, it is actually really exciting, bright. The sunshine is, for human body, especially for human mind, it's like an exciting event, because sun really wakes our minds up. So that's going to ignite something which you follow the second, the river coming forward. It can be like an exciting opportunity if you're looking for like a new job or community. For some of you, I feel like there's a community even forming here, that you might find yourself in a very supportive environment. There's an anchor showing up. Anchor can symbolize actually anchoring yourself into that moment. This can be something coming for a long period of time, even though you might start to explore this thing, this wild river. You might set on an adventure on this wild river. And what happens is, even if you choose to go on an adventure on a wild river, at the end of the day you come to the finish point, like a rafting experience I'm talking about. But I feel like this might also maybe just push you towards a new hobby or new interest that is going to keep giving. Another thing I see here, like the first week, I don't really see much of an excitement. I told you that there's a person right there. There are two people having a conversation above this Zeus type of character. One of them has like a hanger above his head. The hanger can be representative of the things that needs to go on the hanging, like or the situations that has been on hold for a while now. There is a person might really want to discuss that about you, discuss about that with you coming forward, and they might have, even if they have like a pushy attitude, I feel like this Zeus character is like, I'm gonna say like a father figure, or like a masculine, strong masculine figure is actually being a barrier in between you and this person. Okay, I don't want to recite, like keep saying this is Zeus, because I don't know fully his story. He might have like a messed up thing happening for him. So yeah, and I see there's a clear paper coming forward after that. So this might be a deal initially looking like it's not really working for you, but if you can pull up the big guns here, like the people who has like really power over a situation, that's why I said the father figure or a partner, they're going to really diffuse the situation, and you have here clarity coming in. Okay, maybe a clear contract, something that you'd like will be like, the if this is a contract, parts of it you don't enjoy, you don't get supported, might even be readjusted. We have the second week here. I told you there's a community forming, but I keep seeing this person, big body, small legs. This might be someone that is coming with too much, for maybe too many information, too much to deal with. They're carrying, like their body is big, but the feet is small. They're standing in like two little legs. This can be someone acting like they're taking a lot of space. However, the most of the part is like in the air, basically. Like the what they're standing on is not, the foundation is not strong. Think of it like a building standing in two dinky little legs. Okay, so like sticks. So that's why I feel like here he has like a hook on his tail. This can be a Scorpio you're dealing with, or like who else? I cannot think of another creature with like a hook or a clamp on their tail, but this can be a person who might have a Scorpio nature, not like a zodiac, but as the animal. And this can be someone who's like looking for an opportunity to sting or give burn, or maybe, humiliate someone. However, I feel like instead of focusing on the emotions that they're causing, you need to focus on their foundation. And maybe if this is a person who's actually doing things behind your back, you need to really see where they're standing on, and seeing that they're like I said, the two little legs is not really going to carry them for a long time. What does this tell me? I told you you're inside of like a crowd right here. The crowd might be even supporting you, but because your attention is not on yourself or not in your surroundings, you might lose that focus. Okay, you might not see all the support behind you. The purpose here is just come back to the center, recognize that you have full support. You don't really need to be like victimized by this person, because I feel there's karmic something also happening with them as well. And I see there's a clarity coming in. There's a house appearing here, and your house has like a flag on top of it. Those flags on the finish line. And let's hope this is a green flag. And I also see here, kind of looks like a little bit church vibes to me. So maybe you're actually passing through this person's energy now. And the purpose is, watching the finish line, not really watching the people on the side when you're running the marathon. Okay, this kind of looks like finish line to me as well. So you might be really completing something if you can keep your eyes on the prize, on the goal, the end result, rather than just dealing with people who cannot really have two legs to stand on, basically. Okay, let's dive into your saucer now. If you have a specific question, a desire, and intention, hold it in your mind. This is something that has some time, guys. This is a very light energy. So it's something, if you keep pushing, trying to make it happen, and like maybe losing sleep over, there are 2 tears of joy coming. This is not going to come forth that way. It is going to come in a very light way, and it has a second desire coming with it, aligning with it. Another thing I would like to say, third good news, maybe there is something, okay, you're desiring one thing to happen, but maybe it has another benefit, or it has another part of it is going to align together and come into your life with like some happy stuff, happy events happening. That's why it might have been delayed for a while. I see, kind of looks like to me a type of Middle Eastern or Eastern, we can say, instrument called oud. I don't know if it has another name in English, but UD is how it's spelled. This is a very particularly strange instrument, guys. Okay, so it doesn't really have any specific like partitions when it comes to the handles, so it's just the sound is not exactly like Western style. It's really hard to really learn to play. If you know how to play guitar and such, it can be a little bit easier. But the thing is, though, it has a very like heavenly sound. And I feel like here that might be the challenge in front of you right now. Yeah, you might have something, an instrument or something, a situation in front of you. You don't know how to play it. You don't know how to learn it. It can look really hard because it doesn't really have any directions of how to, like, if you have a right teacher, yes, you can learn how to play that instrument as well. But if you or go with someone who knows how to play an instrument, a string instrument, you might not be successful at that because it has like its own unique body. That's why I feel like you might be dealing with this kind of a situation that none of the people around you doesn't really have experience about it. So you need to find the right specific person who can teach you that or resolve the situation, even if this is a financial thing. Because when I've put it this way, it kind of looks like a duck, looks like a little bit like a turtle. Turtle can be about housing matter, so duck can be like a family matter. So it seems like there is a way to resolve this, but you need to find the right mentor in order to handle it. Okay, I'm going to dive into your tarot now. If you have like a specific situation in your mind, you can focus on that. But we're going to look at general, what's happening for you at the same time. If you made it so far, do comment down below. I read all your comments. If you have any questions, please put it down there. And we have Spirit of Wands. Okay, Knight of Wands is a good sign. 10 of Wands is, Six of Swords keeps coming for everyone. I'm going to pull one more. Okay. Because I feel like here, you're getting the best cards, guys. Okay. Everybody during this time, Lion Gaze portal we had, solar eclipse we had, we're going, I feel like the September for me is the beginning of the year. I don't know why, because I go to school almost more than a half of my life. So that was the time everything actually starts getting, like the life starts to go on. And this year I'm going to start to school again. I'm planning to as well. That's why I feel like here this month is about preparation for a new beginning. Okay. And everything, all of these things aligning for you is actually a good sign that you better start preparing yourself for a new attracting opportunity coming your way. This will also allow you to leave behind what has been holding you back or what has been a massive burden on your back. 10 of Wands, we see this lady here, she's trying to carry all these lightsabers. You can say lightsabers, they're looking like that, on her back, and by herself, she's trying to handle everything. I feel like Six of Swords actually symbolizes this is the time you're leaving that era of your life behind. This next 2 weeks, whatever the intentions you have, like if your intention is, I'm going to take care of everything in my hand all by myself, it seems like you're going to have a lot to do, a lot of things in your hand to take care of. Knight of Wands here is you really starting really excited, really focused and happy, but also at the same time, a lot of things to take care of is maybe even tiring you down. However, Six of Swords tells me that you're walking away from this mindset now because 10 of Cups is family. This can be soul family. You might really align yourself with, you might have already aligned yourself with the people, right people, feels like family, soul family supporting you, and also appreciating your existence, celebrating with you. And it seems like here this time you can ask help from them. Some of you might have some doubts about, okay, if I ask from them, are they gonna actually, Seven of Pentacles is doubting the seeds. It can be about maybe financially, you're thinking, can I trust these people? Or physically, or if I trust them to help me with the certain things, are they going to be able to be there for me? Even though mentally you are disconnecting from that, like you're just saying, okay, I can ask for help. I can trust that. Maybe material stuff, this is because this represent material things. You're not maybe seeing any material results yet, and that's probably why you're starting to have a little doubts. Two of Pentacles suggests here, if that's the case, you need to start balancing your work and your daily life. So Two of Pentacles, if you're playing hard, this tells you need to enjoy your life as well. If you're working hard. Another thing with the Two of Pentacles is like, there's what's happening on the background. I see the waves are actually clashing to the rocks right there, and she has the full galaxy behind her. Though that full galaxy in the stars represents the dreams that you are actually making come true. You're working on your dreams, and you might be working overtime, and this is a cycle, like you're going to be on this journey for a long time, and that's why enjoy the journey. Take a time off if you can. Okay, that will also, I feel, going to bring the clarity that you need in the situation, who to trust. Awakening is the Judgment Day coming, and this one is really different than the original one. She kind of like reminds me maybe a nun, however not a classic one. She has all these yellow flowers which represents hope, and there's a new day coming forward. That's why I said, like, maybe ask the questions in a way that you want to hear the answers, and the answers are going to be useful. Who can I trust the most? Can I depend on them? Can they help me with the material things when the things actually when I need material support. Material support can be someone coming into your home and making your coffee. The simplest things, guys. Don't make it a big deal, because when you think of it at a bigger scale, it gets scarier. When you say, are they going to give me the financial support that I need? That becomes scarier. But if you can ask the smaller questions and get it the bigger level, then it can be more digestible. Awakening here is about you asking the questions, and here asking the questions, getting the answers to that, who you can trust the most. That's going to be an awakening moment. Universe is the World card. You are completing a cycle, and universe ending, and then there's a new beginning. Potential is the Fool card. So there's a new beginning on the horizon for you. This can be actually like recognizing who you can trust, that you have full support of in the spirit, in the material world. Another thing here is, because we're starting with the passion, and if you're thinking that it's going to take too long to turn my passion into something material outcome, it seems like this is your realizing, because we are living in a very different and fast era now, that everything starts really fast, grows really fast, and becomes a reality and becomes a full flesh something really quickly. So it's not like the old times that you need to put 20 years into something to get it going. It can become really big if you're authentic enough. Rather quickly, everything can grow. Okay, that's what the potential actually is suggesting you as well. Let's pull your oracle now. I know for 2 weeks this seems like a very long term. Like it sounds very long-term plans is actually coming to life, but I feel like here this next 2 weeks is all about you really clarifying your intention about what you want to see in the long term. Okay, we have Poe here, Edgar Allan Poe. It just comes from there. Time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. I mean, I said it a second ago, and this is an approval. That's why Seven of Pentacles, this comes with the number 7 as well. If you have any doubt that nothing is working or it's going to take forever, basically, if you can learn how to use technology for your highest benefit, it seems like this is going to pay off rather quickly. Maybe it's going to actually, something is going to go from 0 to 100 rather quickly. I mentioned this before. I see like bakers, cake pop makers, like cake pop. It's a very specific thing. When I look at it, like I am coming from a little bit Central Asian, Middle Eastern culture, and for cake pop is not really in my taste palette. Okay, I like cakes, I like brownies and stuff. However, I see people like this is selling like hotcakes. Basically, it's selling like hotcakes. So, and that's for me unbelievable. But now I look at it, that's becoming a massive business. Anything can become. So if you believe in it, believe enough, okay. Like I understand cookies. Like I see people making like this chocolate chip cookies, massive ones. I understand that it tastes really good, but cake pop is. I mean, am I too old for that? I don't know. I don't understand it, but it's still. So believe in your dreams, guys. We have surrender here. Release and surrender all control and let nature take its course. I feel like here, if you're pushing something so hard, this is 6 of swords. Surrender is aligning 6 and 12. It means that leave the choppy waters, go to the calmer shores, and use technology. This feels like also maybe you're working too hard on something which has like a faster and easier solution for you. Okay, guys. All right, beautiful. That's all for today. Hope you enjoy your reading. If you do, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. I'm going to leave more in the screen, and go ahead, hit subscribe. I wish you all a magical day. Bye.